A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On the behalf of Chandigarh University, I welcome you all to the motivational session of Chandigarh University that is being organized only for the freshers and the batch of 2020. So, this motivational session will help the freshmen a lot, and today we will have the internationally acclaimed motivational speaker and one of the India's best selling author, and that is none other than Miss Priya Kumar. So, in a short while, we will have Miss Priya Kumar with us. So, before that, I request the students who have joined us, if they want to ask any of the questions, queries, and would like to share anything with us or with Miss Priya Kumar, they can raise their hands or can ask their questions and queries in the Q&A box. And I will reward the questions to ma'am, to Miss Priya Kumar. And with that, I also would like to tell that Miss Priya Kumar is making India proud with her achievements, not at national level, but as well as at international level. So in a very short while, we will have Miss Priya Kumar with us. So once again, I would like to request all the students who have joined us right now, if they want to ask any of the questions, they can raise their hands and can ask their questions in the Q&A box, and I will reward their questions to Miss Priya Kumar. Ms. Priya Kumar is one of the well-known Indian author as well as the motivational speaker, keynote speaker, who has touched millions of hearts and has inspired millions of people with her work, with her workshops, and with her books as well. So, in a short while, once again, we will have a Miss Priya Kumar, and I request the students to stay connected with us. Not only this, after this wonderful session, we will have a cultural program where one of the well-known bands of India will perform for the students live through this Zoom link and on other social media handles of Chandigarh University. So I hope so many of the students are eagerly waiting for Miss Priya Kumar, because many of the students have already starting messaging us that they are eagerly waiting for her, and they can't wait to meet her and ask their questions and queries from her. So once again, welcome to the motivational session with Miss Priya Kumar. I hope so. We are being joined by many of the students. At the moment, we have been joined by more than 250 students. I request all the students to join us. So we have been joined by Miss Priya Kumar once again. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Thank you very, very much for having me here. Hi.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
Very well. Thank you.
So, with your permission, can we start with the session, ma'am?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On the behalf of Chandigarh University, I welcome you all to one of the inspiring and motivational sessions. So today we have with us internationally acclaimed motivational speaker, keynote speaker, and best-selling Indian author, and that is none other than Miss Priya Kumar. So it is my honor to introduce her. She has written more than 12 inspirational book, and some of them are I Am Another You, Turn the Tables from Challenges to Opportunities. And I must say that her this book, Turn the Tables from Challenges to Opportunities, has won 3 international awards, and including other books that has won 39 international awards. So it is a very inspiration and motivation for all the students to have such a great personality with us. And not only this, in her 25 years of journey as a motivational speaker, she has worked with 2,000 multinational corporates across 47 countries and touched 3 million people across the world with her workshops and with her books. Not only this, the list has just started. Her achievement list has just started. She has been awarded with many awards, and one of them is a Woman Leader Award. And adding to her achievements is that along with being a motivational speaker and a best-selling author, she is a filmmaker and a screenwriter, and made her debut with the web series The Final Call, that has been inspired from her book I Will Go With You. And once again, it is my honor to introduce such a great personality, and it is our honor to have such an inspirational personality with us. So please welcome Miss Priya Kumar. Over to you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you so much. You're so cute, yeah. You speak so well.
Thank
I,
you
I
so much,
wish I
ma'am.
was back in college again. So thank you very much for the lovely introduction. I love your oratory skills. So that's very well done. And
Thank you so much,
Chandigarh is
ma'am.
special to me. I was born and brought up in Chandigarh. I studied in Chandigarh. I studied in Saint Kabir. So I don't know, if all of you all are from Chandigarh only or from all across. So whenever there is a mention of Chandigarh, it's like homecoming for me. And I really wish that this session was happening live, where I could address you all, where I would have a chance to come back to my hometown. We moved to Bombay when I was 13 years old. And at that time, when I went to school and they said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "I'm from Chandigarh." So they'll say, "Ah, what?" As if Chandigarh what? And then thanks to my achievements, so then in school and college, I became the girl from Chandigarh. So even now when somebody interviews me in the media and they ask me, "Where are you from?" I don't say I'm from Bombay. I say I'm from Chandigarh, but I live in Bombay now. So it's a pleasure to be here with y'all. So I understand today is your orientation day, the first day in college. I don't know if y'all are going to attend college soon or everything is going to be online. But I understand technology can change, a lot of things can change. But you know what? The rules of success will always be the same. So whether it was 1950, which was past life for some of y'all are so young, whether it was 1980, whether it is 2020, environments will change, technology will change, facilities will change, resources will change, but the principles of success will always be the same. And you guys are at an age, I feel that young too, although I would be like double, more than double of most of your ages. But this is the time when the seeds of success are sown, and this is the time, people are called dreamers. You all are so lucky that this is called the stage of the dreamer, where you truly believe anything is possible. You can hear it in the voice, you can see it in the eyes. So also, let me tell you, while some of you may have some very well defined dreams, and the millennials today are dreamers. You guys actually have that grit, have that courage, have that optimism and positivity to think anything is possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a little structure into your dreams, because this is what it will take for you to make it big. When you pass out, when you go get your jobs, when you follow your heart, when you follow a path. Now, the good thing about success, see, it is great to have speakers like me, it is great to have teachers like you have, who show you the path. But you know what? The path is already laid out by people you admire, people who are successful. If you were to actually make a list of 5 people or 10 people you admire from any field, you will find one thing, that the seeds of their success was sowed in their teenage years. If you look at Bill Gates, he started, what year or what age Bill Gates started to work? Yeah, the most highlighted thing about his career is that he dropped out of college. Yes, he did that, but he was not because he didn't want to study, and he said, "Bahut ho gaya, padhai nahi karni hai." Oh, he was very studious, he had already studied, and he was so eager to get started with his life. Bill Gates started at the age of 15. So his university education started at the age of 15. And therefore, when he actually went to university, he said, "I know everything. I want to get started in life." Sonu Nigam is a very dear friend of mine. Do you know what age he started? When he was 4 years old. Now, you go pick people from different industries. They all started young. So I'm going to give you some seeds that you sow now in your life so that your future and success is a higher guaranteed possibility. Yes, there are other factors, but I'm going to give you some tips which will ensure that your chances become very high. You know, we live in a very competitive world. By the way, I'm a writer, so I write. So I have all my notes here, you know, for you guys. So I do not have a PPT. So if you all are like me, I would recommend you have a notebook and take a few notes. So I'm going to give you a few tips and tricks, which will be seeds. Now, the thing is, just because you sow a seed, there is no guarantee it will turn into a tree or a plant. You have to protect it first. What if the crows take it? What if the pigeons pick it? So similarly, all these seeds, all these tips that I will give you need to be nurtured. They need to be sowed. They need to be looked after. So they grow into a good value system. They grow into habits which will form a solid tree by the time you pass out. So the first thing is art of problem solving. Okay. Now, look, you are studying, you have come to the university, and by the way, this is such an amazing initiative by Chandigarh University to do this for you guys. You know, when we were in school and college, we never had this facility. So it's amazing that the initiative has been taken. So make the maximum use out of it. So, first tip is art of problem solving. See, your life, okay, your future ahead will depend on how you solve problems. Like even the studies that you're doing, it is to solve a problem, correct? Right? If in the sense that if you don't study now, you will have a problem later in the future with your careers, with even if you want to start a business. So your education is actually a solution to future problems. All right. So the art of problem solving is very, very critical. So what do you need to do in the art of problem solving? First is to know what is the problem, that there is a problem. Okay. Second is you have to identify what is wrong and then look both outside and inside and solve it. So let me give you an example. So let's say, I mean, y'all are teenagers, you know, let's say you really like this girl and she says no. Now that's a problem. Yeah, that you gathered the courage, you thought you're the best, you did whatever you had to, and then you went and proposed to her and she says no. All right, so it's a problem. Now, first identify, yes, there is a problem. Second is, what is the problem? All right, look both outside and inside. Maybe there's something wrong with her, maybe there's something wrong with you. Now, work on that. Okay, because if you don't, guess what? It'll only be law of averages. It will not be a formula for success. Then you're waiting for trial and error, hoga nahi hoga. Where does confidence come from? Where you're not afraid of problems, you're not afraid of rejection, you're not afraid to fall down because you have the ability to look at the problem, find out what's wrong, and then work on it backward. Sometimes the working is inside, sometimes the working is for the other person, but either which ways, you take responsibility for it. So let's say you did not score well in the exam. Okay, it's a problem, right? And if you had parents like mine, it would be a very big problem. Like my parents, when they sent us to school, they told us very clearly, Dekho, we are sending you to school, that's what we can do. Now, your responsibility is to do a good job and to score good grades. Because if you don't, then there is no point sending you to school. We will pull you out. So it was a problem and we had to solve it and get good grades. So let's say you don't get good marks. Now you think about it. What was the problem? Maybe you were too much on social media. Maybe you were distracted. Maybe you were binge watching web series. I don't know what it was. And then solve it, right? And when you can see your problem and when you can come up with the solution, your confidence rises. You know, we hear such sad stories of people not being able to cope with life. What is life? What are they not able to cope with? Challenges, right? They can't identify a problem. They can't figure only what's wrong. You ask them, what do you think is wrong? They say, I don't know. Really, it's in front of your eyes. You don't know why somebody didn't get good marks or why somebody didn't get where they wanted to. It's very clear if you look at it. So if you allow yourself the objectivity, then I think you are good to go. You are good to conquer. And the traits of it will be visible now. Quitting is not an option. All right. Now, second seed that you must sow is say no to compromise. Okay, because I will tell you, and I have done a lot of lectures on this topic, which is don't compromise. Life is beautiful. Imagine at this age, if somebody tells you, oh, you'll have to compromise, you'll have to put your head down, it's not worth it. I'm not excited about it. Yeah, why am I excited? Because I believe it's all possible, because I believe I can do anything the way I want it. Of course, within a value system. So do not compromise, because if you will have that mindset of freedom now, you will enjoy life. You will actually be able to do such amazing things. Now, the trick here is, how in school you have policies, you have guidelines, right? Like, for example, I was speaking at this university and they had guidelines such as you will not have tattoos which are visible. If you have it, then you better hide it. You will not color your hair pink and blue and purple and so on, right? They have policies about behavior. You get it? Which means these things are not allowed. You shall not do it. Similarly, in my life also, personally, I need to come up with policies. What will I not do? Okay, by my standards. So, for example, I will not gossip. All right. And these are very, very big things to have, not because others say so, but because I have decided it. Like how the school has decided you're not going to have pink hair. All right, simple. So, which means if you want to be in this college, you cannot have pink hair. So, which means if you want to be my friend, if you want to be in my circle, you cannot gossip. All right, you cannot tell lies. You can't do drugs or alcohol. You can't be a bully. You can't be a cheater. These things is not allowed in my campus. Okay, which is my campus of friendship. So have some policies, because if we don't have these policies, and sometimes we take it for granted. Okay, we say, these things are understood only. You should not tell lies. You should not cheat, and so on and so forth. But if you write them down as policies, then those become guiding principles and people begin to know you as that. Okay, so one, you take down a notepad and write down and say, today's your first day in college. You're going to make new friends. A new life is going to start for you from here. So don'ts, all right? What you will not do, what you don't stand for. Then second is what you will do. I will look after myself. I will work hard. I will honor my word. I will respect people the same way that I want to be respected. I will help others. Okay. So as much as you write what you don't stand for, it is also important to write what you stand for. Therefore, when somebody says, hey, let's go and bully the other person, you say, no, it's very easy. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to feel bad about it. So clarity, absolute clarity, brings happiness. It puts you on the way forward. Okay. So compromise, don't ever do that. All right. Now, the third one, the third most important aspect, which will help you move forward in life starting today. Because you see, when these people were interviewed, okay, and you make a list of your own favorite people, legendary people. When Justin Bieber was interviewed, his mother was interviewed actually. She said everybody knew he would make it big. When he was young, in his younger days, you could see the signs, you could see the traits. The traits don't develop after you are 20 years old. The traits start from now. It's like you have a mango tree, it's not going to give oranges. From very early on, it's a mango tree. Okay. But the good thing is you can mold yourself and nurture yourself right now. What is the third thing? It is communication skills. Please understand, as millennials, I have people who will write, I will send a text message. Let's say I have a lot of students who follow me, a lot of students who I'm friends with. After my workshops, I do say, please stay connected. So for example, somebody will write NP, LMK, and I'm wondering, what does LMK mean? So half the time I'm writing, what does this mean? And now I've become good at figuring. LMK is let me know, and so on. Okay, so language will become a very big thing. So I asked them, are you really tired that you can't type? Let me know. And if you, so this fellow's like, actually, my phone prompts me when you write LE, it'll give you let me know as a suggestion. Right? So language is a very, very good thing. What I really liked about you is that you spoke so well. Yeah. And language is a skill that has to be developed. Diction, how you speak, how you pronounce things. Okay. And that comes with speaking and speaking well. All right. And when you speak, okay, you have to overcome the nervousness and shyness, because now think about it. Let's say your vision is, I'm going to make for a very big businessman. Okay. Let's say some of you want to start your own business. Now you look at a very big businessman, how amazingly well he speaks. You think he learned it 2 days ago? Like before his speech, he learned quickly articulation, diction, his language he polished? No, he started early. And you see these people in their younger days, they perhaps were a part of the road track club, they were a part of Isaac, they were on the college communities, they were doing a lot of projects, and so on and so forth. So language and communication skills is very, very important. In fact, I would say take up public speaking opportunities. The minute your college announces there is a debate happening, there is an oration happening, volunteer. Okay, let's say even if you do a bad job, let's say if you're scared, oh, I can't talk in front of people and so on, no problem. But today when you register your name, there is a 2 week, 1 month preparation process also, right? They're not going to say, put your name and now show up. There is a proper coaching. Learn that. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you come first in the competition or last in the competition, but it's important that you go through the journey. Because like I said, even if you choose to be an executive or a musician or an artist or a writer, end of the day, finally your success will only boil down to your communication skills. So think from the future. I mean, you guys are the future. Okay, you are the future leaders, but I am today's leader. Okay, we are today here. So it is my responsibility to tell you that going back in time, if I were to attribute my success to something, was the communication skills that I developed in my teenage years in college. So use the opportunity and nominate yourself. Okay, pull out last minute, no problem. Last minute, say, no, I'm very nervous, I've fallen sick, can I have food poisoning? But at least undergo the process. Okay. Number 4 is you must have a talent or skill over and above your education. Okay, have you heard Steve Jobs' speech, which he gave at the commencement, I think it was of Stanford, where he spoke about how he took up calligraphy. And calligraphy actually formed a very important part of the Word documents. The fonts that you have, that's where it came from. You must have a skill and a talent. And in every college, there are opportunities for extracurricular activities. Participate. Don't say, I don't have time. Don't make excuses of, I have to go for my tuitions and I have to go for my classes. You study one time in school, in college. I don't know if you all are allowed to get your mobile phones and all in college, but keep it on the side. Yeah, put your attention and then go play a sport. Yeah, develop something, or take up a guitar class, take up a singing class, take up what do you say, a speaking class, something, an extracurricular activity. And you know what an extracurricular activity does? Research has shown that it adds an embellishment on your standard platform. See, a college curriculum is a standard platform. Everybody is studying the same subjects. Somebody's marks are less and to and fro, right? There is a ranking. The ranking is okay, but once you get out of college, that ranking doesn't have as much value as your confidence has. So where does the confidence come from? The confidence comes from talent and skill. I would say take something up and develop a mastery in it. You have the time, and trust me when I tell you, you have the time. It is people like us who don't have the time. When you grow older, look at your parents first of all. Seriously, is it inspiring? They are handling the house, they're handling work, they're handling hazard pressures of money and so on and so forth. Think about it. Do you think your parents can now say, okay, I'm going to take out and learn to play the guitar, or I'm going to do this? You have the time now. So do it. And I tell you, people tell me, what would you tell your younger self? That if you were to go back in time and when you were in college, what would you tell yourself then? And I answer the question. Okay. Then I throw the question back to them. Now think, come to the future, come to my age. What will you tell yourself then? I should have studied more. I should have learned public speaking. I should have learned this. I should have learned that. So start today. So develop a talent. It will really go a long way. Because let's say, for example, I'll give you an example. Okay. So let's say 10 friends meet and you all go out. Everybody's in the same college, same class. Okay. A little bit up and down is all right. Now, one fellow knows to play the guitar. What do you think will happen in that gathering? Who will be talked about the most? Him. Let's say another person is very good at delivering a speech and he just won a contest. Who will be talked about? Him. All right. So, like I said, education prepares us on a common foundation, which is important for you to start moving ahead. But what will take you leaps ahead is your own talent and skill. All right. Now, fifth is self-confidence. If you have self-confidence, everything is possible. I mean, you must have had friends who you see वो पढ़ते हैं नहीं, सारा दिन खेलते रहते हैं, and you see them forever distracted or first आते हैं. How does that happen? And then there are people who are studying all day. You can't see their heads. They have like thick, heavy glasses, right? But the minute the exam comes, they're nervous. Okay, they forget. They start saying, I don't know what to do. Somebody gets food poisoning and so on and so forth. So self-confidence is very, very critical. Did you know, Lata Mangeshkar is my friend's aunt. So he is Lata Mangeshkar's nephew. So I met with her one time, and she's got like many national awards. Lata Mangeshkar is the Nightingale of India. Her voice is legendary. So when I met with her, I told her, ma'am, you are India's best. So she says, no, Priya, I'm not the best. She says, I have heard so many other people who are fantastic singers that some of their voices the nation needs to hear, that I feel healed when I hear them sing. But why didn't they make it to the top? Because they don't have the confidence to come out and sing. They're sitting in their houses waiting to be discovered. They don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to make the effort. And why? They have the talent, but they don't have the self-confidence to bring the talent out to the larger world. Therefore, self-confidence will play a very big role in your future from here. Yes, you should study and study hard and aim for the best grades. And with that in your bag, a lot of doors will open for you. When you are like the class's A student, the first student, when you fall in the top 10 categories, when you've got so many academic awards, it will open a lot of doors. But whether you will walk through that door or not will be dependent on your confidence. And if that day you lose the confidence, the door will shut. Okay. So what is the greatest tip for self-confidence? First is social media. Yeah, you've heard this from your parents and you hate them. Yeah, and I know all of you all are going to hate me now. But let me tell you about social media. Okay, now what does social media do? I'm not saying don't spend time on social media. Let's analyze. Let us see, hai kya social media. Okay, so what do people do on social media, Instagram, and so on? They'll post these pictures with filters. Okay, so now imagine this. The guy just had a fight with somebody. Okay, let's say he had a fight with his girlfriend. Now, just to show an Instagram picture, he will smile, cool dude, and put it up. Okay, it's a lie. He was so unhappy right now. He was complaining to his friend with all these filters, they put it up. So, social media sometimes, most of the times, does not tell the truth about how you feel and who you are. Okay, there are so many filters, there are so many 1 second moments that are captured. Okay, so one. Second is, did you know social media provides instant gratification? You can put a post now and then start refreshing, how many likes, how many comments, and so on. Like in 1 minute, you will get result. Okay, Maggie still takes 2 minutes. Yeah, today you have order on Amazon, it could still take 5 hours and 2 days, but social media is in 1 minute. All right. Then not only that, the minute you have instant gratification, do you know what happens in your body? There's this chemical called dopamine, which is released, which makes us feel good. Wow, I got 2 likes, I got 5 likes, and so on. And you know how else dopamine comes in? From addictions, from alcohol, from smoking, right? And it's an addictive chemical, which means I want it again and I want it now. I want to feel happy for no genuine reason, put a post and start scrolling. But like uh, addiction does. So what addiction does is, I hope you don't know about it. So let me tell you about it. I hope. Okay, I hope you don't say, "Ha, aisa hi hota hai." Addiction is, it takes you on a high and then it crashes you down. So, and that is a typical trend of dopamine. So when you see, oh, I got 10 likes, you feel so good. Then you go on your friend's post and he has 20 likes. And now you feel, oh, this is not okay, so instantly from up you come to down. There are comparisons and there is competition which may not even be real. See, today you had rather participate, let's say, in a debate competition. You had rather participate on a quiz competition and win and lose, so you know what you can do better. But social media is so competitive that you're in the wrong game, that whatever you do, there'll always be somebody else who has more. Now, I'm not saying don't be on social media, but limit your time. Okay, a balance is always good. That if you put a little time on social media and time it for yourself, it is good. It's very, very good that you know what is happening with your friends, you know what are the trends in the world, and you can make better decisions. But to be addicted to it, that's my dog, that you can't focus on who is in front of you, that you have 6 friends in front of you and you're chatting with 6 friends who are not here, then that's an addiction. Okay. See, it is nice as youngsters, you will go back, you will go into the future, and you will come back to some memories, make some memories. Don't talk to people who don't exist in that moment. Talk to real people. Yes, this virtual is allowing us to talk to people who don't exist, which is good. Sorry, that's my dog. She likes to have her opinion in all of my talks. When I was young, some of you were not born then. No, you all were definitely not born then. So even we had the camera, but we had to click a picture, get it developed, and put it in an album. Go ask your parents, show me your album. We had to put it in an album, and we could only show it to people who were in front of us and who existed. We couldn't put it all over so everybody could see it. And if you tell your parents, show me some of your pictures of your childhood, so they will show you the picture and they'll tell you a story about it. Right? And those are real stories. And I can't begin to tell you how much magic memories have, how much magic experiences have. And if you are focused with who is in front of you, you will create such fantastic memories that your past will become inspirational. That even when you get upset, you'll be able to think about all the good times that you had. Did you know people have such a terrible time dealing with challenges in the present because they don't have a past that was happy? Everywhere they look, it was sad, it was competing, it was, there were question marks. So make memories and balance your time out on social media. I know this your parents have already told you like 100 times, so this is 101 times Priya Kumar also adding on to that. At least your parents will be happy. Okay. Now, to increase your self confidence, I will tell you a beautiful trip a trick, a tip. Okay. Make friends with people who are elder to you. Okay. It is very good to have friends who are the same age. Yes, have fun, have loads of fun with them, but at least 1 or 2 friends should be like 10 years, 15 years elder to you, so you can go and ask them when you are confused. See, when you're the same age, no, everybody is confused. Okay. And when you tell them your problems, they will experiment with you. They'll say, अच्छा ये करके देख, फिर बताना क्या हुआ. And they're also waiting for feedback. Okay, you put my advice into action and then tell me what happened, so I will learn from your mistake. Okay. So it's good to have friends your age, but 1 or 2 people who you can fall back on, who you can take advice from, who you can go to when you're low, who you can trust. Sometimes you can't totally trust people who are your age, because in today's times, you know it, today they are your friends, tomorrow they may not be, and when they go, they take all your secrets with you. Yeah, so it is good to have somebody who's a solid rock. Okay, follow people who are elder to you, at least one or two. Keep them in your circle of interest and influence. I can be your friend. You can ask me a question, and another one or two you must add in your list. Don't just follow people, friend them. Yeah, ask them questions, and allow them into your circle. Ask for advice. What does it harm? Okay, it will help you out. Now, number 3, delete all the negative people. Okay, now when I was young, when I was in college, my best friend. Okay, so I would be like 18, 19 years old, and my best friend at that time was Dr. Niranjan Patel. He was 73 years old, my grandfather's age. But I tell you, that gentleman was so cute. He would encourage me. He would tell me, Priya, you can write, do this, do that. Yeah, which your friends don't do, because they're also secretly competing with us, right? They won't even give you the correct advice, because they're thinking, oh, if I give him the advice, तो ये मेरे से आगे निकल जाएगा. So Dr. Patel was my best friend, and he told me one thing, that if you really want to move ahead in life, if you really want to become a somebody, okay, if you really want to shine, then you have to reduce and delete and limit your time that you spend with negative people. He never told me leave your friends, even if there was somebody who was really toxic, and we know at least 5 6 people like that. Okay, he never said don't be their friend. He said limit your time with them, don't spend too much time with them, because अच्छी बात नहीं है ना. If we start cutting people out, then we'll be left alone. Spend more time with people who are positive. So who are toxic people? You already know, because they make you feel sad. You come home, you don't feel good, you feel more confused, you feel lowered, you don't feel good about yourself. So these people, you'll recognize them, because they have nothing good to say about anybody. Everybody they crib about. And I can guarantee you, you at least know one or two people like that for sure. They are forever complaining, ये भी खराब है, वो भी खराब है, उसकी ड्रेस खराब है, and so on. And they are only blaming others. They don't complain that, oh, I could be at fault. They will never say, oh, I think I should learn. No, no, no. Everybody is at fault. These are people who are not hardworking. You will see them cut corners, bunk classes. You will see them, delay assignments. They're not industrious and hardworking. And they are very happy to ridicule others. First, they are first people to make fun of others, including you. Okay, people who criticize you without any reason. Okay, ये क्या पहना है, ये कैसे बाल है, criticizing you, making fun of you. These are negative and toxic people. And also, let me add to this, people who are abusive, who habitually abuse. Yeah, when they're angry they abuse, when they're happy they abuse, when they're eating food they abuse, when they're drinking water they abuse. Abusive people, please stay away from, because you know what, you will pick up on that language. When we go abroad, you have friends who live abroad, how they pick up on the accent? And suddenly, so they were talking in this Punjabi accent to us. Now suddenly, hi, how are you? So we pick up. We are social people. वो ऐसा बोलते हैं कि खरबूजा खरबूजे को देख के रंग बदलता है. I don't know if you know this phrase also. You know that we one bad apple spoils the lot. You won't realize you will become like them. In entertaining their gossip and negativity, you will also learn that and become like that. Before that happens, limit your time. The minute all this nonsense starts, I remembered my mother asked me to do something and leave. Spend more time with good people, because you know what? It will rub off on you, और जो आपने जितनी मेहनत की ना, it will all come down to zero. That's why company is critical. Company is important. Even in your college, it is by selection. There's an admission process, right? They see who is good. They want good people coming in. So your college especially has allowed you a great gathering, a great group, and maintain that in life as well. Okay. Now, fifth point is so critical, especially for youngsters like you today, and also for a lot of adults. Okay, so maybe you can take this bhashan and give it to your parents also. Like how one point I picked from them on social media and gave it to you. Now you pick this point and you give it to them. And that is, develop patience. You guys have had the privilege of being born in an era of instant gratification. You do this now and there it is, right there. But you also have to understand why so many people get depressed. It's sad. So many kids today, so many, and by kids I mean teenagers. Yeah, when you come to my age, anybody who's even 6 months younger to you becomes a kid. Okay, that's how we oldies feel. So kids today are depressed, and I'm thinking, yeah, when I was a teenager, we used to give stress to others. We never took stress. I mean, be like that. So one of the things that you really have to do is understand what is the correct estimation of time. Okay, when people don't have the correct estimation of time, they get impatient, they quit, they leave, they don't want to do activities which will take 3 days. Okay, like even when you order on Amazon, I don't know if you guys order on Amazon or if you have an Amazon account. So people will see 10 days for delivery, I don't want it. Even if when they order on Swiggy or Zomato or all these home delivery, they say 30 minutes. Oh, 31st minute, they will start calling, where's my food? And give a bad rating. We have no patience. Today in Bombay, in a city like Bombay, if you're in traffic and even if you stop for exactly 6 seconds to drop your mother, she'll just open the door and get out of the car and people will start honking from the back. There's no patience even for 6 seconds. So as a future leader, as a person who wants to be successful, as a person who wants to make a mark in the world, you have to not just understand patience but also learn the correct estimation of time. If you sow a seed today, don't come tomorrow to see पेड़ किधर है, नहीं आएगा पेड़. Okay, and then don't say after 3 days, ये तो मेरा छोड़ो. The minute you have a seed in your hand, you should also know how long will it take for the tree to grow and what will I have to do in that timeline. Okay, like you are now in the 13th standard, okay, first year of college, it will take 12 months. Don't expect 6 months, don't expect 5 months, but what will you have to do in the 12 months? That should be your focus. And please understand, life, the best things in life take time. Trust takes time to develop. Okay, don't say tomorrow I should be able to trust you. It takes time. You have to see whether the fellow will really stand up for you. You will see whether they can keep your secrets. You have to test whether they will really help you when you need them. That's not going to happen tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow you were having fun, you can't say I trust you. You have to allow it some time, some challenges to make a decision. Okay, don't break a friendship just tomorrow, I don't know if I trust you or not. Hey, wait, hang on. Yeah, friendships take time. Just because you met the person tomorrow doesn't mean he or she is your soulmate. At least allow some time to go by and then say, oh, I don't want to see you. Love takes time. Everything that is important, value system takes time. So while you're very smart, that you know that if I click something today, there'll be a result tomorrow. Life, real life around you, apart from your phone, does not work on clicks. Yeah, you can't click on me and say, okay, now where is the result, right? So understanding that and developing that becomes so important for your personality development. In fact, I would encourage that you take up an art. Okay, join a singing class and tell your art teacher or your singing teacher, I want to sing like, let's say, Justin Bieber or Katy Perry or whoever, Diljit Dosanjh, I want to sing like him. And she will also tell you, wait, tomorrow you won't start singing like him, right? So you start today, maybe in 2 years, maybe in 3 years, and there is a very specific process that you have to follow. If you take up an art or a skill, you will also develop the virtue of patience. Okay, now the second last point that I want to tell you, if you're really serious about your life, and I tell you, a lot of legendary people are going to come out from this batch. How many is in your hands? The opportunity is there for everybody. You have been given the key, you have to take it and turn the lock. All right, and this batch, you wait and see. There will be people who will make history. There will be people who will be in the news. There will be people who will become influencers and leaders. You that is your decision. Okay, so what you need to start doing from now is prepare for that. And I would encourage you to make a vision board. I don't know, do you know how to make a vision board? A vision board is you sit down, with your cup of coffee, or maybe not. You all are too young to have coffee, maybe not. But sit down with a glass of water or whatever it is that you drink that makes you creative in whichever place. And if you live in Chandigarh, then any place is beautiful and heaven. And write down, think with no limits, what do I want? What do I want to become in life? Okay, and don't judge. Whatever your heart says, write it down. I want to be an actor. Put it on the vision board. I want to be a singer. I want to have my own startup. I want to be the world's best engineer. I want to be a scientist. I want to be an innovator. I want to be a musician. Write it. And if you want to be 20 things, write 20 things. You'll have 20 options when you grow up. Right? Make a vision board. It is the most uplifting feeling, because you know what? Let's say you have in your mind, I want to be an actor. Put it down. No problem. Okay, then you might say, but I don't think so. No, no, no. You keep it written. You never know. Maybe an opportunity comes by, and then you will know the universe is responding. Okay, keep that vision board for you. If you're the shy type like I am, I don't like to share my vision board with people. So I would take my vision board and roll it and then look at it myself. Okay, and every year, keep adding, keep modifying, keep deleting. It's perfectly okay, because if you know what you want from life, life becomes easy. That it's very sad when I see youngsters, you ask them, what do you want? And say, I don't know, maybe, I'll let you know, LMK, NP. So it's very nice. So when I ask somebody, so what do you want to be when you grow up? I have a lot of options, Priya. Maybe I can be an actor. Maybe I'll take up engineering. Maybe I will be a musician. I like to play the guitar. Oh my God, we love such people. It's okay. He's not decided what he really wants, but he has options open. And when you have awareness, it helps you make future decisions. Then it helps you decide which segment and subject you should specialize in. It helps you decide what your higher studies should be. And when an opportunity opens up, you know yes or no. Then you're not asking people, what do you think I should do? Hey, when will you make up your own mind? Don't you hate it when people tell you what you should do? I imagine if you have to land up in life asking, what shall I do? And let me also tell you a secret, that even when people grow up, at my age, there are still people confused. They don't know what they want to do. They ask others, Priya, what do you think I should do? And the man is in his 50s. You better put your options out right now. When it all looks good, when you're still confident, when you're still a believer and a dreamer, it will be your saving ground. When I was your age, I had a list. I had more than 100 things I wanted to do. I want to be an RJ. I want to be a writer. I want to act. I want to make movies. I want to cook. I want to paint. I want to play the guitar. Do you know, I do a lot of them. A lot of them. And people ask me, why are you so happy? Because I do what I love to do. Some don't pay me money. Yeah, not everything will pay you money, but some things you do for yourself. And that increases your confidence. And last point, I want to tell you, if you really want to take your self confidence from wherever it is, some of you may be highly confident, some of you a little lower, but wherever you are, if you want to really push it and soar it up, work. Do an internship anywhere, even if it is in your house. Okay, tell your mom, I'll work with you for 30 days. Tell me what I should do. Okay, in exchange, where you are working in exchange for money, even if it's little money. All right, work with somebody, work with a neighbor, work in somebody's organization, work for a charity, work for a community. Ask your college, can I do some work? Can I help out? Okay, they may not pay you money, but they may add it in your extracurricular activity. Contribute with your hands, your feet, and your mind. Because when you do that practice, when you know, I can create something and earn money, you wouldn't be afraid where the entire adult population, okay, entire would be too much, a large segment of the world's population is afraid today because they don't know what to do. They don't think they can contribute. Some of them have lost their jobs and don't think they can earn money. You should have that confidence that come what may, I can do something, even if it is to help my father, my uncle, my college, my community, my group, anywhere. So take up an internship and don't go by what I say. If you look at anybody you admire, and you know why I keep repeating this? Because success principles are duplicable. If you tell me, let's say, if you are the number one student, and I ask you, how did you do it? Can you tell me three tips? As a student also, if you give me three tips on how you make it to number one, I can change it a little bit, tweak it a little bit to my profession of speaking and make it can add value to me. So people who you admire, follow them and see what is it that they are doing, and you will find this for sure. They started working very early, not necessarily they made a lot of money, but they got experience, because this is the experience that is going to be valuable in life. So, in short, these were my little tips. Even if one or two resonated with you, and even if you could work on one or two, I think it would be magical. So, before I end my talk and I take up questions, uh, do you have any questions for me?
Yes, ma'am. We will be having some questions from the students. They are already lined up the questions for you,
Okay,
ma'am.
good, good. Go ahead. We'll do the questions first then.
So thank you so much, ma'am. You have already inspired the students, especially the
Oh,
freshmen. Like it is a very great session. I would say I am already inspired from you.
how
So,
cool.
I have a question for you. Like you
Yes,
said, don't get attracted to the negativity. Like
right.
people will surely judge you. So, as we are at the moment, most of the teenagers are watching you who are at the age of 16, 17, 18, and 19 as well. So, any of the tips you would like to give to the students? How can they ignore the people who are judging them, who are they are negative? They are having negative impact on these students because, as you know, as a teenager, we get attracted to the judgment, and in the Indian society, like as we are aware, the people opinions matter a lot. So, what would you
Yes.
like to say about that?
See, let's say, for example, if somebody criticizes you or judges you and says, yes, I guess, yeah, and really puts you down. So, the first thing to do is take it objectively. Don't take it too hard. Listen, it's okay. And also, before you make a decision about how you feel, like I said, you should have somebody elder to you who is guiding you and navigating through. Okay, like my grandfather told me this very cute story. When I was younger, not in college but younger, okay, and I have held this lesson to heart. So when I was a kid, somebody told me, oh, you look like a donkey, you're a donkey. And when you never know what hurts you, somebody will say isme bura manne ki kya baat hai, but you can't judge. Mujhe to bura laga. So when I came home, my grandfather said, why do you look upset? And I said, oh, they called me a donkey. So he took me to the mirror and he said, do you have long ears? I said, no. He said, do you have a long nose? I said, no. Do you look gray in color? No. Do you have a tail? No. Then let them say what they say. As long as you know who you are, it doesn't matter what others say. So, what I would highly recommend, because see, these people will be there everywhere. Okay, you can't avoid them. You will find them everywhere you go, even on social media. But it's always good to take a reality check. Somebody who you can talk to. So, for example, if somebody, let's say, judges me harshly, and I tell a friend, my friend may on chabi घुमा me and make me more angry. Usko जाके बोल, or they may give me the wrong advice, or they may not be able to help me at all. And that is when the phone call will go to a friend who is elder, who is smarter. And I say, this is what happened. And they will give two words of advice which will just sort it. So I cannot emphasize the importance of a very good friend who is elder to you. Cherish that. For life, cherish that. Yes.
So thank you, ma'am, for answering this question. We have a student by the name Eva. Eva, I request
Yes.
you to kindly unmute your device, and if you want to ask any of the questions, you can ask right now.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, Eva. Good evening.
I hope you're doing well in the COVID situation.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, dear.
Ma'am, I would like to ask that college life is like I'm starting a new life. Everything will be dependent on what I do in college, how I perform in my studies, in my co-curricular activities. I would like to ask you a few tips like how should I start? What are some major things I should keep in mind before entering this life?
Okay, so you're right, Eva, that a lot will depend now on this year. Okay, every year is important for everybody. So, first is your studies. Okay, you should be very, very good with time management, but don't be immersed in your studies also so much that you can't do anything else. Because you know what, this is the age of the learner, it's also the age of the dreamer, but it's also the age of the learner. Ensure that you make time also to incorporate 2 to 3 extracurricular activities. Okay, one should be of your interest. So studies is first and primary importance. Second is, what is your interest? Okay, let's say you like to dance, then ensure that you learn that too, so you have mastery in your interest. Third is something that you're weak in. So if you're weak in something, how can you strengthen that? If you keep these three in view, for sure, you will start seeing such major and speedy development in your academic path, and also in your personality. And lastly, keep good friends. It's okay to have just one friend, but it's very, very important to have good friends. Yeah, and like I said, learn to distinguish between negative people and people who really are genuine and are like you, like minded. So if you keep these 4 points as a starting point, keep building on it as you go ahead.
Thank you,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, Eva, for connecting with us. So, moving on to the next student, we have Kiran Budhrani. Kiran, if I'm audible to you, kindly unmute your device.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. I am
Hi,
Kiran
Kiran.
Budrani.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have heard a lot many times that working with passion, like working with passion, you need to turn your passion into work. So when I look upon things to find out my passion, as you mentioned about the vision board, I get interested into a lot of things and I do note it down. But as time passes by, my attention divides and the result leads to success in none. So my question is how to understand when to stop searching, or if we are multitasking, how to focus on it.
Hmm. Very interesting. Yeah, my God, y'all are so smart. I love that. Yeah, look at your questions. There's such amazing quality questions. So, look, okay, it's very, see, we get interested in things. You know why? Because we get interested in the end result. To give you an example, I always wanted to learn to play the guitar. Okay, so you see all these guitarists, playing this amazing song and amazing music, and I love that. But when I start to learn, they go sa, re, ga, ma, and for 4 weeks you're only doing that. And suddenly, what I really loved about the activity and what I'm actually doing right now is not matching. And therefore, I start losing patience and I start losing interest. Okay. Therefore, I had said that understand, if I take up guitar learning, okay, and I tell my teacher or my instructor that I want to play the guitar like Kiran, how long will it take me to get there? And she says 6 months. Then I know, I understand that 6 months I have to continue the journey. But if I don't ask that question, then in my naivete, in my expectation, I'm thinking next week I should play like you. Okay, so if you get interested in something, also put a timeline that for me to be here, how much time is it going to take? Am I okay with investing that kind of time, that kind of energy, and that kind of money? If yes, go ahead with it, and you will reach to the end result. So then you will also streamline a lot of other things. That if you land up doing a guitar class twice a week with 1 hour practice every day, then you'll also realize I can't do 10 things. Maybe I can do the ninth thing later, eighth thing later. You'll become good at time management also. And like this, you'll be able to add a lot of skills in your kitty.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so much,
Kiran,
ma'am.
for connecting with us. So, next question is from Nivedita Agrawal. Nivedita, I request you to kindly unmute your device.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, good evening.
First of all, it was like really nice to listen to you, and
Oh,
I did
thank
take
you.
notes. I also took notes of every point that you gave as well.
Thank
And
you.
Ma'am, I also have interest in writing, and like I have tried to write few love story kind of books, and I also have friends who write poems and writings, etc. So, and since you also have written such wonderful books yourself, ma'am, I wanted to ask if there is any tip or advice you would like to give to people like us who are interested in writing.
See, the first tip, first of all, that's awesome. Artists are the real influencers, yeah, and especially writers. So don't quit, you must keep it going. The first tip I tell every writer is that to be a wonderful writer, well, that is Chicky. She wanted to come in and say hi. So my dogs always come into my videos. If I don't pick them up, she will not let me talk. Okay, so the first tip as a writer is that you must be, if you really want to be the world's best writer, you should be the world's best reader. Okay, because that is your resource. You can attend college, you can do a major in literature, everything you can do. But if you don't read enough, you won't be able to write better. Okay, so in a month, you should read at least 4 books that will teach you language articulation. Okay, that will teach you storytelling, that will teach you so many more things. So reading is one. Second is write and get feedback. Okay, so before you post something, maybe have an editor friend, have somebody who will evaluate your work and tell you, okay, this is how you can improve. Now, did you know I've written 12 books? The first book I wrote, I never published because I was so skeptical that I don't think it will work, it will not work. So it's okay. But before I became a writer, before I published my first book, I have written 700 columns, and I have written like hundreds of blogs. So that is my history of writing. You write and you get better and you get better, like any skill. So continue with it, but keep your foundation of reading and learning intact.
Thank you, ma'am.
I hope
Most
so,
welcome.
Nivedita, you have got the answer to your question. So moving on to the next question, it is by Tanshika Bhatia.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, Tanshika.
Uh, Ma'am, my question to you is like, can you please tell us about how to get rid of the pressure that is made on us by the criticizers? Because every
Hmm.
one of us aren't a strong positive thinker who can easily ignore all such things or either take the criticizing in a positive sense. And even this is the main purpose of why most of the people who want to do something, they just easily back off.
Right. See, I'll tell you what I do in situations like this, okay? And it has helped me a lot. I have a very small circle of good friends. Everyone else is an acquaintance, okay? And small friends for years. Like, we have been friends for a very long time. They have stood the test of time. Now, whenever, if somebody unnecessarily criticizes me or is negative, I just leave. I don't owe anything to anybody. You have to understand. Let's say if 6 people are sitting. Okay, let's say three of us are sitting together. Don't you have so many other options? I also have options. I can go home. I can play with my dog. I can play my guitar. I can study. I have so many other options. So therefore, if somebody is going to be negative and criticize me, I leave from there. I don't stay there and listen, because you know what? As much as you may try to deal with it, you can't forget that statement. It sticks like a thorn. Oh, why did he say that? Why did he say that? And how much we get disturbed. That person may have said that one sentence for 10 seconds, but it disturbs us for 10 hours and 10 weeks. So you can't stop somebody. And agar aap unko jawab bhi de dein, even if you tell them off, or if somebody scolds them, but you can't unhear what you've already heard, right? It hurts. So I will write that person's name and not spend time with that person again. If I see the person in the group that I am in, I will limit my time. And you know what? Such people will know that I will not stand for it, and I will not sit there, and I will stand up and tell them off eventually. You have to take action. See, even those people are taking action to hurt you, right? You have to take action to stop them. They don't speak like this. Or if you see them criticizing somebody else, tell them off. Don't speak like that. and move away from there. I know it's difficult, but it's worth it. It's really worth it. If 10 people don't like you and two are your best friends, it's okay. As it is, they don't like you. They are criticizing you, they don't like you. Might as well tell them off now they don't like you officially. Perfectly okay. But you have to learn this skill of cutting out all of these negative people. Otherwise, how will you be happy? And these are strangers. Today on social media, if a stranger also puts a negative comment, know how much it hurts. Imagine you don't know the person also. And especially if the person is in front of you, that impression lasts a long time. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. So cut them up out of your life.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're
Uh,
most
thank,
welcome.
Thank you so much, Tanshika, for connecting. So, ma'am, I have a question for you from my side. Like,
Yes.
at the moment, we are going through the pandemic and lockdown. That has a huge impact on the youngster as well as other age groups, especially on the mental health. Like,
Hmm.
we are going through depression, anxiety, and all such things. So, these things, these problems, these issues have a great impact on the youngsters, especially the.
Right.
So, what would you like to say about this thing, and how these students, especially the teenagers, can stay motivated and boosted?
See, the pandemic first has locked us in a house. Okay. So now is a great time to observe your parents and elders. How are they dealing with it? Okay. It's a very good thing because now some people have actually found out that what their father does also. Like till now they didn't know what my father does. He goes to office and comes back home. फिर बीच में क्या हुआ कुछ पता नहीं. Now you know. This is also your sneak peek into the future of a professional. That, oh, this is how you talk. Listen to them. Because you know what? You're going to get there. And if you can find 5 or 6 points which your parents are doing, which are admirable, this is the time for you to know their world. See, they know your world. They know everything about you. You don't know. For 8 hours, what happens in their life, you don't know. So, one is good discovery that this is my future as a professional. Because I will tell you, after the next 3 years, you will be going there. You will be going 8 hours to work. Okay, that is one. Second is, right now your technology has become your savior, right? A lot of people are here online, so use technology positively. Why should your parents keep saying phone mein laga rehta hai, phone mein laga rehta hai? Acha kaam kar raha hai phone pe. Start a business. Understand technology. Don't be a victim of technology. Be a creator. Understand how businesses are done. Learn something. Today, did you know you can do a PhD online? You don't even have to enroll or pay money for any extracurricular course. Everything is available. It is your interest that will take you deeper. And technology is the way of the future. You know it, and I know it. But will you use technology? Will technology be a resource for you? Will it be an advancement tool for you? Or will it be again villagiri? अभी जैसे they used to say कि वो नुक्कड़ पे बैठ के people get together and do nothing. A lot of people get onto technology and do nothing. Okay, kahan time jata hai, it is time pass, right? So changing that attitude, and if you can use that to advance yourself, that it is before the lockdown I knew so much. I had this much confidence, and this was my position in the family. After the lockdown, I understand my parents better. I understand my future as a professional because that's why you're studying, right? To be a professional. I have learned new things and I have learned to use technology. Then you are one up already. And when a person can use adversity where the whole world is complaining and shut down, and you have taken that time and grown, life will welcome you. Then you don't have to ask people future में क्या होगा. They will ask you बताओ future में क्या करेंगे, and you will have the answers.
So thank you so much, ma'am. We are running out of the time, but we already have a lot of questions, but time is not allowing us to have these questions. So the students who are not able to attend us and we are not able to take their questions, they can go to ma'am's Facebook page. There are YouTube videos. So you can follow her on all the social media handles. So at the end, ma'am, would you like to say something to the freshmen, to the batch of 2020?
So let me tell you, I will tell you a very short story. Okay, so this is a story of a little boy in a village. Okay, and his mother would always take him to this pandit ji. कुछ भी करना होगा पंडित जी से पूछेंगे, पंडित जी से पूछेंगे. So this boy got so fed up and said that my mother makes all decisions based on this pandit ji. So now he decided I will trick him and I want to show my mother that this pandit ji knows nothing. Okay, so he told his mother, this time I will ask a question to the pandit ji. Okay, और फिर जब वो जवाब नहीं दे पाएंगे ना, तब आप समझ जाएंगे कि वो ढोंगी है. ओके, सो शी सेड ओके कम. शी वाज डिलाइटेड. आओ. तो अभी पूरे गांव में बात फैल गई that this young boy is going to ask the pandit ji a question and his challenge is he will not know the answer. Because the challenge was big, सारे गांव वाले इकट्ठे हो गए and they said हमको भी सुनना है, ऐसा क्या सवाल है. So 5 बजे, 5 o'clock, that pandit ji was called. He was sitting under the banyan tree. So this boy was walking there and his friend asked him कि तूने इतना बड़ा challenge लिया है, ऐसा कौन सा सवाल है? What kind of question are you going to ask him कि उसके पास जवाब ही नहीं होगा? He says, look, it's very simple. I have a hummingbird. Have you seen a hummingbird? It's the smallest bird in the world. Okay, so he had taken a hummingbird and tied it up. Okay, तो he said, देखो ये hummingbird है मेरे हाथ में पीछे, ऐसे पीछे हाथ में. So he's going to ask the pandit ji, मेरा ये सवाल है. I have a hummingbird in my hand. Is it alive or is it dead? I want to know the answer. Like Arnab Goswami, the nation wants to know. So he said, agar wo bolega zinda hai, if it says the bird is alive, I will kill it and say no, it's dead. If he says the bird is dead, I won't kill it and say no, it is alive. Okay, so whatever answer he gives, dead or alive, it will be wrong. Oh, they were so excited. Okay, they said chalo. So they went under the banyan tree. The panditji was sitting. So this little boy or sare ikatthe hua the. All people had gathered. So this boy asked him, Panditji, I have a question for you. I have a bird in my hand at the back. Tell me, is it alive or is it dead? So the Panditji smiled. See, why they smile? No, because they're thinking. Very quickly, they are thinking. They're buying time. So it's good to smile. It gives you some time. It's distracting. So he smiled and he said, Beta, have a bird in your hand. Now, whether it is alive or dead, it's in your hands. See, please understand, your dreams, your future, whether it will be alive as you want it, is in your hands. You are the creator. You have the power to make it or to break it in your daily actions. So I know, see, you would not have come for this webinar and orientation if you were not interested in your future. You are. Look at the quality of your questions and look at the quality of your teachers, of the groups that you have. It's amazing. And if you stay on the right path and if you stick to 2 to 3 principles of success, you will make it. And how? And I will follow all of you. I will look up your names and I will watch out for you in the coming years to see who made it so I can take inspiration. Grow up to be that. I want to call you from my organization and say, tell me how you did it. Right? So thank you very, very much for inviting me and more power to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. On the behalf of Chandigarh University, I would like to thank you that you have shared your precious time and answered all these questions and inspired the future of India to a great and right path. And thank you for sharing once again your precious time with us. And I hope so the students, the budding artists, writers, and all of the students have got to learn a lot from you. So once again, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much
You
for
are
being with us.
amazing.